cuts, contusions, sprains, fractures. These are just some of the 90,000 painful and disabling foot injuries that occur each year. A foot injury can seriously impair your mobility, both on and off the job. Some injuries can even result in permanent disability. In this program, you're going to learn 4 things you can do to protect your feet. The first is to wear the right shoes, ones that fit right and are appropriate for the type of work that you do. Now, in most workplaces, safety shoes are the right shoes to wear. Unfortunately, too often people don't wear them when they should.
Hey, Lydia, look what I brought you.
What happened?
Well, Danny and I were trying to move this barrel that must have weighed about 400 pounds. After we put it up on the drum cart, it started to roll and we lost our grip.
Yow, were you hurt?
No, it was just a bruise. I was wearing my safety shoes, so the flat bottom of the drum came down on the steel toe. Only ripped the leather a bit here.
You know, some people who come here complain about having to wear safety shoes. Can I keep this shoe to show them why safety shoes are a good investment?
Sure, and tell them to see me if they're still not convinced that wearing them is a good idea.
Looks like we got to fix you up with another pair.
Okay.
Same thing?
Well, maybe. I'd like to try some of the new styles. How about those?
There's no disputing that safety shoes protect your feet. One study found that 75% of the foot injuries reported involved people who weren't wearing safety shoes or weren't wearing the right type. So be sure you wear the proper shoes for the work that you do, and be sure that they fit well. Shoes that don't fit properly often result in calluses, bunions, and ingrown toenails. And anyone who's ever had any of those problems knows how painful they can be and how the discomfort can affect your mobility and safety. The way to eliminate these types of foot problems is to start at the beginning, when you're buying safety shoes. Be sure to choose the right ones for you.
Hey, John, what are you doing shopping for safety shoes?
I just got transferred to Bob's department. I have to wear them.
Jim, here, try these on.
Okay, thanks.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I need a pair of safety shoes too. Size 10.
Okay. But you'll have to tell me about the work you'll be doing so we can get the right pair for you.
You're kidding. I thought all safety shoes were the same.
Hardly. They all have different features to choose from and come in a number of different styles. Come here, let me show you. All certified safety shoes have steel toes to protect from falling or crushing hazards. Some shoes also have what they call a metatarsal guard.
Well, I know I need the steel toes. I don't know about the metatarsal guard. What's it for?
Look at the shoe I'm trying. It has a metatarsal guard that gives you extra protection to the top of your foot. Now, the reason I'm trying this shoe is because I work in an area where there are a lot of potential hazards from falling objects. Now, as a machinist, you should probably have that feature on your shoe, too.
If I'm correct, you'll probably be working on a concrete floor?
Yes. Why? Does that matter?
Knowing what type of floor you'll be working on helps me to determine what kind of sole your shoe should have. You see, there are many different kinds of soles, each one with its own purpose. Since you'll be working around machinery, there's likely to be oil on the floor. I'd recommend a heavy-duty, oil-resistant rubber that's also slip-resistant.
I used to work in his department, and I often found sharp objects around those machines.
Well, if that's the case, you need to consider a shoe with a sole that also protects the bottom of your feet from punctures. People who work in construction and similar situations always need to take that into consideration.
I had no idea that there were so many things to consider. Based on what you know about my job, which shoe would you recommend?
Any of these would be okay. Look them over while I help Jim, and let me know which ones you'd like to try on. So, Jim, how do they feel?
I like these, but the steel toe pinched my toe.
Different styles have different sized toe boxes. If this one's tight on you, I recommend this pair that you haven't tried on yet. I know there's more space in this model.
Okay.
I like this style. I'll take a size 10, please.
I'd like to check your size first. Are these socks you're wearing the type you'll be wearing on the job?
Yeah, but I'm still a size 10 even when I'm wearing heavy crew socks like these.
When it comes to safety shoes, it's important that they fit well and that they're comfortable. That's why I always check people's sizes each time they buy new shoes. Plus, many people find that safety shoes are most comfortable if they get them a bit bigger. According to this, you're really a size 10.5. I'll get you that size and a size 11, and then you can decide which one fits you the best.
As you've just seen, there are a lot of things to consider when buying safety shoes. The type you choose depends on the type of work you do, as well as the type of floor you'll be working on. It's also important to be sure the shoes fit properly. Try on several different styles, wearing the socks you'll wear on the job. The shoe should fit comfortably without pinching at the toes. Keep in mind that like any other shoes, safety shoes wear out. And when they do, they can't protect you. So keep all your shoes in good repair. That's the second guideline to remember. Inspect your shoes regularly for rips, tears, worn or flapping soles, broken or worn down heels, and tattered laces. Repair or replace them as needed. Also, clean your shoes and condition the leather regularly. Caring for your shoes helps keep your feet safe and helps your shoes last longer. This rule also applies to shoes you wear off the job. Regularly inspecting them and keeping them in good condition helps make every step a safe step. But keep in mind that shoes alone won't prevent foot injury. You also need to take steps to prevent foot accidents from happening in the first place. This means you have to always remove, repair, and/or report foot hazards, which is our third guideline.
Let's go to lunch.
Sure. Hey, we better clean up these boards.
Nah, after lunch. Come on, I'm starved.
Looks like everybody's at lunch. I guess I'll just leave these papers over here.
Ouch!
This accident could have been prevented if these employees had just taken the time to pick up their work area. Many other foot injuries could be prevented if people took the time to remove, repair, and/or report foot hazards. What are the most common hazards you should look for? Spills that could result in a sore tailbone or an electrical shock. Broken tiles, loose flooring, and debris that could cause a stubbed or broken toe. Broken glass, nails, or other sharp objects that could puncture your feet. Heavy objects that could fall, roll, or drop, crushing or breaking your foot or toe. If you spot any of these hazards in your work area, don't ignore them. Remove, repair, and/or report them right away. As you've just seen, failure to do so could result in someone getting injured. Because accidents happen, it's important to know what to do in case of a foot injury. And that's our final guideline. Treat foot injuries promptly.
Hey, Joshua, what happened? Hi, Jim. Oh, I stepped on one of those boards and a nail went through my shoe.
Well, come on, we better get that looked at.
No, it's okay, really. It looks worse than it is. The nail didn't go that deep.
Look, you can't take an injury like that lightly. If you don't get it looked at, you could end up with a bad infection later on. Or worse, tetanus.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'll go get it looked at. I feel silly coming here for such a small injury.
You did the right thing. If you hadn't got that cleaned out properly, you might have developed a serious infection. Besides, you were due for another tetanus booster. With an injury like that, it's a good thing you got one.
How often should I get a tetanus shot?
You need a tetanus booster at least every 10 years. However, if it's been over 5 years since your last tetanus shot and you get a puncture or other high-risk wound, you need a booster.
Is tetanus really that serious?
Definitely. Infection by tetanus bacteria affects the central nervous system. It can even be fatal.
Wow, I had no idea it could be so dangerous.
That's why it's important to take care of every injury, especially if it's on your foot.
Why is that?
An injury that's far away from your heart usually takes longer to heal, and so is more likely to become infected. That's why a cut on your foot usually won't heal as quickly as it might on your arm. Also, your feet are enclosed with socks and shoes all day, and that provides an ideal breeding ground for bacteria.
As you can see, what may seem like a minor problem can lead to a more serious one if you don't care for it correctly. So treat foot injuries promptly. Of course, prevention is the best cure for any injury. Follow the guidelines you've just learned so you can prevent foot accidents from happening in the first place. Now, let's review the 4 guidelines for foot safety. Make sure the shoes you wear are proper for the job you do, and that they are kept in tip-top condition. Take action to remove, repair, and/or report foot hazards. And if an injury occurs, treat it promptly. You've seen how your feet can be vulnerable to injury, and that even a slight injury can cause pain or immobility. So remember the tips you've just seen, and put your best foot forward, always. Your safety depends on it.